Mexico is a country today because the United States allowed it to exist. No, that's wrong. September 14th, 1847, the U.S. Army marched into Mexico City. The capital fell. So if the capital was taken, why didn't Mexico disappear? Most people think wars are simple. You take the capital, you take the country. But history doesn't work like that. Yes, the United States had power. Yes, it won major battles. And yes, it forced Mexico into a treaty. But that doesn't mean it controlled everything. Because taking a capital is not the same as taking a nation. Across Mexico, resistance didn't end. Fighters stayed in the mountains. Communities refused to surrender. Supply routes were constantly under pressure. The further any army moved from the capital, the harder it became to control anything at all. This wasn't a clean victory. It was unstable, unpredictable, and far from finished. And while all of this was happening in Mexico, something else was happening inside the United States. Leaders were divided. Some wanted everything, all of Mexico, total expansion, but others saw the reality, a massive land, millions of people, ongoing resistance that wouldn't just disappear. And one question they couldn't agree on: what happens if all of this becomes part of the United States? Would it stretch the country too far? Would it create something impossible to control? And more importantly, would it break the balance of power already forming inside the nation? Because this wasn't just about land, it was about control, politics, and the future of the entire country. So in the end, the United States made a decision, not to take everything, but to take what it believed it could hold. Through the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, Mexico lost a massive portion of its territory. What is now California, Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, and more, a huge loss, a painful one. But Mexico itself remained. And this is the part people get wrong. Mexico didn't survive because it was allowed to. It survived because it wasn't erased, because resistance never fully stopped, because control was never complete, because even power has limits, and because a nation is more than its capital. It's its people, its identity, its refusal to disappear. Today, when people say Mexico exists because it was allowed to, they erase everything that came with it: the resistance, the instability, the decisions made out of fear and limitation, not generosity. They turn a complex history into a simple myth. But the truth is heavier than that. Mexico didn't vanish, not because it was spared, but because it endured. And that changes everything. For more true hidden Chicano movement information, give us a follow.